there's no way I was thinking about doing a Mickey Mouse game. You know, love Disney, grew up with Disney, never outgrew Disney, but I don't make games for kids, and Disney's done a really good job of positioning Mickey Mouse as a character just for kids. So as it turned out, I was out pitching, well, I had a fantasy game and a science fiction game that's sort of like, you know, Deus Ex with the serial numbers filed off a little bit, you know. And I was pitching a bunch of publishers on it, and my agent said, we should go talk to Disney. I said, well, why? I mean, I know Disney better than anybody. They're not going to be interested in this stuff. And he said, no, they're changing. Let's go talk to them. So I pitched these things. I'm sitting in a boardroom with all these Disney vice presidents and senior vice presidents and everything. And sure enough, midway through my pitch, I see them checking their BlackBerries, you know, and ignoring me. And I was thinking, I'm going to kill my agent when I get out of here. I just wasted my time. But it turns out what they were doing is they were texting each other at the table to ask if they should ask me if I wanted to do the Mickey Mouse game. So they did. I said, no, I don't make games for kids. And they said, no, we want you to do whatever you want with Mickey. Make the game you want. And so one thing led to another, and I ended up doing it.
And then fast forward to now, you finished Epic Mickey, it came out, it sold really well for a third-party Wii title, and I hear it's the best-selling single-platform Disney game ever. A lot of those accolades, but where did you stand when you finished that? Of course, you know, everybody wants a sequel, but was that the first thing that you wanted to do, and did you have already ideas for the sequel at that point?
Before I start any project, I mean literally any project, I have a process I go through. I don't talk about it too much, but you know, I have a list of questions I ask myself about a concept, and if I can't answer all of them, I know it's not the right time to do that project. And one of the parts of this process, after I get through my list of 7 questions, is I plan out at least 3 games. I come up with storyline, a story arc for at least 3 games, and I plan out a sort of a gameplay arc. What new thing am I going to put in each game? You know, because I mean, think about it. A game takes me, you know, minimum 2 years, usually more like 3. So if I'm going to do 3 or 4 games, I'm about to devote 10 years of my life to that world and those characters. So I did that with Mickey, and I had 4 stories. Actually, I knew I could tell a 4-story arc about Mickey and Oswald in Wasteland. And I knew before we started working on the first one that the second game was going to introduce Oswald as a playable character. We were going to take our first sort of tentative steps into co-op storytelling, and I knew we were going to introduce songs in a safe, non-threatening, don't worry about it, gamers, you're going to love the songs, okay? And I kind of know what we're going to do in the third one and the fourth one if we're lucky enough to do them. The funny thing about that, though, is I always plan out at least 3 stories, but we never actually end up telling those stories. I'm pretty good at predicting what gameplay features we're going to introduce. We usually do that. But the stories, someone always comes up with a better story. I mean, when you live with in a world for you know 2 or 3 years, the stories just start popping into your head. And so the ones that you make up the day you start thinking about it are never the ones you end up making.
So Oswald, of course, plays a very important role. What do you feel it is about him that you sort of, because you were very passionate about you wanting to bring him back and sort of all that thing. What is it about him that you really like?
I love Oswald. I mean, he's like the most cartoony character I think Disney ever created. I mean, Mickey he's very sort of grounded in reality. It's hard to imagine him popping his head off, you know, and using it like a bowling ball. But Oswald does that all the time. It's hard to imagine Mickey, you know, popping his arm off and throwing it like a boomerang, which Oswald does all the time. It's hard to imagine Mickey getting squashed by an anvil. Well, at all, actually. But it's hard to imagine him getting squashed by an anvil and then turning into 12 little Mickeys that run around all over the place. Oswald does that all the time. He's just an amazingly cartoony character, and I just find that really appealing. But then there's his personal story, right? I mean, it's if you want to get really, you know, sort of all like, you know, fairy tale or you know, legendary about him, it's almost like biblical. the story of Oswald. Older brother rejected by his father, Walt Disney, in favor of younger brother, Mickey Mouse, right? I mean, it's a Bible story. And the idea that this beautiful little lucky rabbit, funny and all full of chaos and anarchy, just forgotten and rejected. How can you not love that? You know, I want to make him more popular than Mickey Mouse. You know, I mean, it's like I feel it's my obligation. Everybody at Junction Point feels that way. He's real to us in a way that's very twisted.